Hey guys, so in this video I'm going to be going over my rounds at the horse show a couple weeks ago. Actually, it might have been more like a month ago. We were doing the 0.85 jumpers. This was my first show on Della, and she was very forward this day. As you can see, I kind of grabbed too much with my hands there for this inside turn. I should have just sat up and tightened my core because she's such a sensitive mare. She really responds to the lighter cues much better. Coming through that turn, this next turn, I kind of wheeled her around. Wasn't the prettiest. We chipped in. She got me out of trouble. She is just the best mare ever. And then I gunned her at that oxer. Should have just been patient with my body. You know what? We're getting somewhere. It's better than it used to be. I've owned this horse for 2 months, so and this was a month ago, so at this point I had owned her for a month and a half, so I was still pretty proud with our first round there. You know, no poles, but it was a little rocky and not the smoothest or nicest. She was very excited to be back in the show ring, so that's gonna be my excuse for the day. In our second round here, we had a long approach to this green and yellow. I kind of let her get a little deep because we built on our canter going through the turn. I should have just kind of waited like half a second and it would have been right out of stride. Coming down to this purple, she took off long, and I'm getting better at going with her when she does that because I used to just like pull on her mouth by accident and I'd like hate myself for it. I think this line was better this time. Nope, we chipped in. But she, again, is amazing, gets me out of trouble, lifts up her knees and gets herself out of problems, which is super nice. I know that won't be the same when we start jumping bigger because... And this combination, we just pretend that didn't happen. I know what I need to do differently. I just need to flow more instead of kind of slamming down. Here, again, I kind of wheeled her around and then I turned the wrong way. I was supposed to turn left and I was supposed to turn right and I turned left, so then I just did this weird little circle thing, and this is where I should have gotten organized because we come in here cross cantering, she switches, and the jump is okay, but it felt very unorganized coming through the turn, which is not ideal. Coming around to this little jump, she popped it out of the turn really nicely. She was just such a fiery little mare this day, and I had so much fun with her, but it wasn't like anything she had been before, so I was kind of like, oh my, whoa, different horsey here. Overall, this was a pretty good round. Definitely things to learn from, like always, but, you know, the next round I much improved with that turn. So we chipped into our first jump, but I was able to keep my upper body with her, and it didn't actually look too rough. I was much softer with my body in this round than I was before, which I was really happy about. I still need to give her a better crest release though. And we chipped in, knocked the rail. That was just, you know, whatever. It happens. Coming around to this line, I really wheeled her around, you know, chipped in again. She was a pro, got me out of it. I just needed to be a little more patient in that line so we could pop it out of stride. Here we go. I got a little left behind, or not left behind, I got a little late with my body there, and then we made it up in the last jump in the bending line. Honestly, this is such a cool horse. Like, I'm obsessed. This combination going this way was much better. And I'm just super happy with how our first show went. You know, it was a good experience. Sure, it wasn't perfect. It was far from perfect, but we both had fun, and I can't wait for the next one. This was our last round. So our first jump was off that little shallow turn, which I actually really loved that jump. It felt very nice. And then coming into the purple, she was really good. Bending to the oxer, we popped that really nicely out of stride. Here we got a little low, but I was able to pick her back up a bit. We still chipped into the combination, but I was able to go with her more instead of kind of throwing her over it. That orange jump was, I swear, like bigger than the rest of them, and it kept psyching me out. And then again, I turned left instead of right, so I had to do this little circle thing because I went off course. But this time I was better about it. I got her organized, and I got her cantering on the correct lead, and we had a much nicer, smoother turn. Kind of wheeled her around there, but so that's why we had that rail. I should have kind of pushed out and made her bend a little bit more, but you know what? That's why we do these things. We need to learn, and I am super happy with everything that happened to this show. I just think it was an amazing first show with Della, especially after only having her for a month and a half at this point, so I'm like super stoked.